Gene Hackman was more than just a Hollywood legend. He was a powerhouse and actor whose performances in The French Connection, Unforgiven, and The Royal Tenenbaums defined entire eras of filmmaking. But after decades in the spotlight, he chose to step away from it all, retreating to a quiet life in New Mexico with his wife, Betsy Arakawa. When news of his passing at 95 broke, the world mourned the loss of one of cinema's greatest talents. At first, it seemed like a peaceful, natural end to a long and storied life. But as investigators stepped inside his home, everything changed. Secret rooms, hidden documents, cryptic messages. What was Gene Hackman hiding? And why did the FBI's discovery in his bedroom turn his death into one of Hollywood's most perplexing mysteries? For years, Hackman had been living in near total privacy. He rarely made public appearances, and even his closest friends and colleagues heard from him only occasionally. When authorities arrived at his home, what they found didn't fit the image of a man simply enjoying his retirement. Hackman and his wife were discovered under strange circumstances. They hadn't been seen or heard from in weeks, and calls to them had gone unanswered. It wasn't until maintenance workers arrived at their home for a routine check that they were finally found. At first, investigators suspected carbon monoxide poisoning, perhaps a tragic accident in their secluded estate. But after extensive testing, that theory was ruled out. Something else was at play. And when they started searching Hackman's home, things only got stranger. Inside the walls of Hackman's New Mexico estate, investigators found multiple hidden compartments, secret rooms, and even an underground bunker. These weren't just storage spaces, they were deliberately concealed areas that few, if any, knew about. The rooms contained encrypted digital files, confidential documents, and personal records that had been carefully hidden away. Some files were locked behind layers of encryption, making them impossible to access without specialized technology. What could Hackman have been hiding? This wasn't the behavior of a man simply enjoying a quiet retirement. This was something else entirely. And the deeper investigators went, the darker the discoveries became. The most shocking part of the hidden compartments wasn't just their existence, it was what was inside them. Authorities found stacks of classified-looking documents, encrypted hard drives, and carefully organized records. Some of these files contained handwritten notes and coded messages, raising even more questions about what Hackman had been involved in during his final years. The way these materials were stored suggested something unusual. Hackman was preparing for something. The level of organization, the security measures, everything pointed to a man who wasn't just hiding information, but actively protecting it. But from whom or from what? Then came the discovery that changed everything. Among the files, authorities found a series of photographs and letters, but they weren't of family members or close friends. They were linked to individuals who had never been publicly associated with Hackman. Their identities? Completely unknown. Their connection to Hackman? A mystery. Why had Hackman kept these letters and photographs hidden? And more importantly, what was his relationship to the people in them? Investigators then uncovered another layer to the mystery. Hackman's phone records. His call history and text messages revealed a series of cryptic conversations in the weeks leading up to his death. Some messages appeared to be coded, while others hinted at a growing sense of urgency and paranoia. Who was Hackman communicating with? And what was he so concerned about? At this point, the idea that Hackman had simply passed away from old age no longer seemed so certain. The question at the center of the investigation shifted. Was Hackman simply a private man, or was he hiding from something? The secret bunker, the encrypted files, the hidden photographs, was it all just paranoia? Or had Hackman discovered something that made him a target? Even his closest friends admitted they had never known him to be involved in anything unusual. But clearly, there was a side of his life no one had seen. Then, investigators found something that made them question everything. As investigators continued digging into Hackman's final moments, even more unsettling details surfaced. Close friends, fellow actors, and even family members had noticed something strange in the weeks leading up to his death. Hackman, who had always been private but never completely reclusive, had suddenly cut off nearly all communication. Calls went unanswered. Messages were ignored. Even longtime colleagues who had known him for decades were unable to reach him. At first, some assumed this was simply the behavior of an aging man who wanted peace. But when combined with the hidden rooms, encrypted files, and cryptic text messages, it began to look like something much more deliberate. What could have caused Hackman to distance himself so completely? Even stranger, some of Hackman's final text messages suggested a sense of urgency and paranoia. Certain messages appeared to be coded, while others hinted at something he was either expecting or trying to prevent. Investigators also noted the state of Hackman's home. It was found in disarray, showing signs of neglect, almost as if he and his wife had been living in a form of isolation long before their bodies were discovered. Did Hackman sense something coming? And if so, why didn't he tell anyone? With each new discovery, the mysteries surrounding Hackman's final years only deepened. Authorities, experts, and even Hollywood insiders have begun speculating about what he might have been hiding and what it could all mean. There are several theories, but none offer clear answers. Was Hackman protecting a secret from his past? The encrypted files, the hidden documents, and the photographs of unknown individuals. Could Hackman have been safeguarding information that he feared would come to light? Was he being watched? The cryptic text messages, the bunker, the complete cutoff from friends. Was Hackman in danger? And if so, from whom? Was it all just paranoia? Hackman was known for being intensely private. Could his final years have been spent in self-imposed isolation, driven by nothing more than personal fears and anxieties? Did he take a secret to his grave? Perhaps the most unsettling possibility. Was there something Hackman knew that no one else did? A truth so shocking that he spent his final years ensuring it never got out? One thing is certain, Hackman went to great lengths to keep these secrets hidden. But now that investigators have uncovered them, the world is left with more questions than ever before. The investigation into Gene Hackman's final years is far from over. His passing was originally seen as the natural end of a long life, but the shocking discoveries inside his home have turned it into one of Hollywood's greatest mysteries. What was Hackman trying to protect? Why had he kept secret rooms, encrypted files, and cryptic messages hidden from the world? Was he involved in something larger, something he didn't want anyone to find out about? Or was it all just the result of a man growing older, choosing to live in isolation, away from prying eyes? Right now, there are more questions than answers. One thing is clear: what the FBI found inside Gene Hackman's bedroom changed everything. This story is far from over. With every new detail that comes to light, Gene Hackman's final years become even more mysterious. Was he hiding something the world was never meant to know? Or was he simply a man who wanted to disappear from the spotlight? Let me know what you think in the comments. What really happened inside Gene Hackman's bedroom? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more of these kinds of videos. Thanks for watching.